How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid, which ended up closing just over 3.5% on the day, showing a lot of strength. We saw strength inside of the tech sector. And if you guys remember, and I say this in a lot of my videos, if we see strength in the NASDAQ, of course, Lucid will follow along with it since it is in the NASDAQ 100. We also did see the $20 range on the day. I know many of you sent me messages about that. We'll talk about it further in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $22.05, being up 3.57%. On the low, it tested $20.83, and then on the high, testing $22.13. So when we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 21.99 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 18.977 million shares. So we had above average volume on the day, and it's part of the reasons why we've seen some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it's at 40.11. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 100-day, the 200-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So like I've been saying in my previous videos, that there was a good chance that Lucid was going to be visiting the $20 range, and that's exactly what we got, testing that low of $20.83. So what we saw as far as for the high though was at $22.13. So going into tomorrow, as far as price action, I want to see a breakout above $22.69. If we do get this, then we can see Lucid making a potential move here to around $23.53. This is assuming that it's looking bullish, that there's a lot of strength. If it decides to have a pullback now, or we have some profit taking since we did have a strong day inside of the market, of course we want to see $21 hold. If $21 does not hold, that's where we could start revisiting at $20.83, and if we break through that level, that's where I can see Lucid getting down to around $20.50, and that's where we want to see hold up. And if it doesn't hold at $20.50, that's why I'm saying there's a good chance it can go back into the $19 range, which was all the way back here in September. So let's see how the stock performs going into tomorrow, but for the best case scenario, you're going to want to see some consolidation at least around 2150 or higher. So let's take a look at the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Lucid. As we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we're going to be taking a look at the recent filings for April the 13th. So we have Shirikar Asset Management that closed out their position, but we have Red Point Investment Management that ended up purchasing 9,259 shares. We have another closed position from Johnson Midwest Financial, and as well as for Trainer Capital Management Incorporated and for Baldwin Brothers Inc., which is incorporated. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 60.80%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 5.48 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 10,000, updated 39 minutes ago, and then for the short biography rate, it is at 3.72%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 11th, it was at 60.33, and then for the close of the 12th being at 60.80. So one thing that is clear, and by taking a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 18.70%, Lucid does have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we see on the inflow, it was 70.47 million. And then on the outflow, it was at 76.60 million. So we ended up having an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large, we had 0. On the medium, we had 41.43. And then on the small, we had 29.04. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, we had 0. On the medium, we had 45.66. And then on the small, it was 30.94. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for April the 13th, for today, we had 0. But we did have outflow days for the past 4 trading days. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we actually had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And of course, for the large, represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had 0 on both sides. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 1.33%. So a little bit of an uptick from what we saw yesterday, but I'm not surprised. We ended up seeing a lot of volume on the day, and we had a lot more traders that are coming in to take some profits, since Lucid did have a very strong move and just overall inside of this sector. Now let's get into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Lucid, when it comes to the price action, we ended up visiting the $20 range, to be exact $20.83. If we end up revisiting this area and we break through it, then we want to see support hold at $20.50 or even at $20.49. This is very crucial because breaking through these levels, we can see Lucid trading in the $19 range. As far as if you're going to be looking for some upside, the breakout level is at $22.70. So the moment we can break through this level, that's where I want to see Lucid going to $23. But as far as for tomorrow being the last trading day before the long weekend, I think it would be a good look for Lucid if it could stay above $21.50 going into next week. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, yes, we did see institutions showing some interest, but we do see a good amount of closed positions. And then when we took a look at the short interest information, Lucid does continue to have short squeeze potential. So the more they beat the price down of this stock, that's where I can see that we could have a big jump that's going to be coming. I've been seeing that the short shares availability has been getting lower as well. So you want to add this to your homework and as well as your due diligence if you want to be inside of this play. And if you are an investor, I would continue to be patient. As far as what's going on economically in the rally we had inside of the market, I'm going to be straight up with you. After seeing some of the bank earnings, I was saying, you know what, it shows that there is a slowdown in the economy. We have those concerns around inflation. Why is the market shooting all the way up? But you know what? It is just a rotation. We know that a lot of big tech companies are going to be coming out with earnings soon. So keeping that in mind, we could be seeing a lot more strength inside of tech, but do know we could have a strong pullback at the same time. So you want to make sure you're paying attention to those levels, especially inside of the pre-markets, because I know many traders send me messages saying like, thank you for the videos because I'm able to take advantage of calls and puts when it comes to playing Lucid. So I hope for yourself you have a similar strategy, but of course if you're just an investor, you just need to wait, be patient so you can get those shares at a solid price. Or maybe right now you might feel like, you know what, is actually good value. I know for myself, I'm not looking to add any more to my position until the stock falls below $20. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I can't wait to see how the stock performs going into tomorrow. We'll talk soon.